ponies do you have?
I have 8 and I have 1 stallion on loan.
Okay.
You can't reunite because everybody is locked up.
What's the guy's name on the talk show? Harvey, Steve Harvey? Did you see that documentary?
No.
He says she ain't worth she ain't even black. About the camera today, better go. Okay.
Where's Vincent? The square, okay?
Josh and I pulled out to Chino Valley today to come see one of my friends, one of my coworkers, one of the top producers in the industry this year, Adam Cleveland. We're out in Chino Valley, Arizona. He's got like a 60, 70 square build, fully approved by insurance. Typically the case out here in these areas, hail damage, wind damage. Adam came to work with us in February, maybe late January. He came from glass sales, killing the windshield sales game. Him and his stepdad, they're working together for quite some time. Adam has the exact same story as all the other guys that you're going to be introduced to. Come from an addiction background, has spent multiple years inside of the institutions of Department of Corrections of Arizona, and now lives a very special, lucrative, drug-free life. So the story's pretty special. I can't wait for you guys to get into that part of it, and we're going to talk a little bit about that today with him.
This ain't no regular thing. I came for the ring, you know what I mean. I shoot my shot and it's clean. This for my city, yeah, this for my team. If you talking and talking me nice, I play with all of my life. You see my name in the lights, better get right, I'm champion. The game is in
Get up
trouble.
there
I've been
and
in
see.
my
You said this roof's original. This is Adam.
Wait a minute, that's Adam?
This is Adam as well. I'm Adam and this is Adam.
Oh, all right.
And then we have Josh on the department.
Okay. Well, I had a Josh.
Did you?
Okay,
How you doing?
good.
I'm Adam.
It's a beautiful day out.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah,
yes it
beautiful.
is.
How many ponies do you have?
I have 8 and I have 1 stallion on loan.
Okay.
So I have 8 right now,
That's
which
a lot.
means I'm going to have more next year. Let's look at my little stallion. He's kind of a kid. Now, stallions should be aggressive, but they're not. So he's 30 inches.
He's really cool.
And, you know, if he was shaved and cleaned up, he'd look, it's pretty shocking how good they can look. You're a good
Okay,
boy.
well,
Maybe you'll have
have you-
babies next year. And this is his son. He's a 32-incher.
So what do they want to do? They want to just round
And
up?
next year I'll be selling a few horses, maybe a couple babies.
What do these go for?
Oh, geez, it depends.
Okay. Well,
It depends on what you're looking for,
round
too. Confirmation, everything,
If they're too
anywhere
nervous
from
if they can't roof, they'll
800 to, I have one that's
Okay, make sure when they're
15,000.
ground-
So anywhere from,
Okay.
average I would say is 15 to 2,500. That's average. And then when you want to start getting show horses, it's usually 2,500 up, you know, to whatever, depending on the lines and what they do. I've been breeding for movement. So, you know, I want this if I can. And that's really hard to get. If you get one of these,
Yeah, the trotters.
that confirmation doesn't have to be perfect. Well, there's this kind of mover too. So that's fine. But if you get one like this, almost like a saddlebred, that's worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
But you
Oh, you
know,
did.
you get these hunter ponies. Oh my gosh, hunter ponies, 250,000 for a hunter pony.
Wow.
I used to do hunters and jumpers. I had wealthy clients. One of my clients was a Levi Strauss person,
Oh, wow.
and they had a gelding, $1 million.
Yeah, for a horse.
Yes. And then I had another client. They offered her $1 million for her mare. She says, "What do I need $100 for, or $1 million for?" You know, you have arrived when you can say, "I do not need $1 million."
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm horse poor. Most people are. Anybody has horses, you know, only people making any money on horses are people who already have money. Generally. I'm speaking generally. Unless they just happen to get lucky.
Hey,
You want one?
I can't afford them, dude.
What's your estimate?
I'm not sure, but I do know this. I have no land to keep them on, even if I could get them. But they're pretty cool.
Look, his friend is coming over. What's up, dude? You're handsome.
You're not scared, huh? Hi, you want some now too?
Pretty much you've seen us doing Lori's roof, and you got
Well,
a
I
whole.
saw you do the one,
Dick's.
Dick and Sandy's.
Uh-huh.
And I thought, wow, gosh, 2 days. But I just thought, since they replaced their windows, they painted their house, they're just doing the roof. So I didn't think anything of it. I mean, we did have a storm, and I did have a little piece of my roof come off, but I was like, another thing I got to take care of. Anyway.
And then you saw Lori.
And then I saw Lori's, and I because I saw your crew came in to unload stuff, but I didn't know who you were. I didn't assume, because I just heard,
right,
the beeping of the truck and stuff and heavy equipment, and I thought, well, so I'll call Lori, see what's going on, and she told me what the deal was, and I went, really? Well, shoot, maybe I should get on this deal. Then after was it you I talked to on the phone? Okay, then I rush and check my insurance thing, and it's $1,000. So let me tell you, if I could get a roof for $1,000, God blesses me all the time, so it doesn't really matter. But it'd be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're going to go up here. We're going to give you an inspection to see if you got some hail damage.
Okay.
Wind damage.
Definitely.
So I'm going to bring some chalk up here with you. It's washable.
Okay.
So it's going to have, you'll have a few marks on it. It's not permanent. It's supposed to rain this afternoon, so it'll wash off.
Okay.
Okay. Now this is the original roof?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
And it's by the same person. These 4 houses here are all built by the same person.
Probably got an elk shingle.
Looks like it. Okay, I'm going to grab some chalk.
Okay. Went all out with the gutters.
Oh yeah, it's here. Okay, this is the kind of stuff that we're looking for here. Now, these people out here in Paulden have seen over an inch of hail in the last 12 months.
Any sign of one yet?
Oh yeah, so this is the same, typical northern market damage, the exact kind of stuff that's gonna be able to qualify for a full replacement. Appears to be a discontinued shingle, probably an elk shingle. You got a couple pieces of chalk? Yep. Oh yeah.
So what does that mark mean?
So when you run the chalk flat against the lip of the gutter, it just exposes all the little dimples from the hail damage, shows where it's impacted it, shows that it's ruined.
Okay, so just the same kind of stuff that Lori and Dick had.
Oh, wow.
That's your gas vent.
Holy guacamole. Shoot.
So you've got plenty of hail damage on your slopes. Now, you do have a little bit of granule loss, but you have enough life on the roof right now to where we can still show them that it's hail damage.
Okay, because I was thinking, oh geez, I'm gonna have to get a new roof one of these days pretty soon, because I was watering, gardening, although it's hard to believe that I do any of that.
Yeah.
But anyway, on the downspout, I saw this, it's the stuff, the granules coming off of the roof.
Yep. And you've got some hail damage on top of the gutters as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it just kind of gives us a better story when we get American Family out here. They see some gutter damage, they see the vents.
They know what to look for.
Oh, yeah.
Look at.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Sign this real quick. So everyone watching, if you don't have one, go get one.
Focus on it.
They come in a pack of 4. Debit card. Have to go get one.
So people who don't know what that is, what is that?
Oh, this is going to be your Tyrone Bigham's debit special. Okay. Let's see, I'll tell you what it says on the front. It says, remember what the Bible says. He who is without sin cast the first rock, and I shall smoketh. All right, go ahead. Where are we starting at, from the beginning?
Yeah, so just a little bit about your life, your upbringing.
Well, let's see. So, I was raised by my grandmother. Mom was in and out of the picture for a little while. Mainly gone, pursuing other things that she had going on in different states. My dad got involved when I was about 9 years old, because my grandma just couldn't handle me anymore. It was getting to the point where, she was getting older, I was getting more out of hand, more out of control. So I went and lived with my dad for about 4 years. Always in and out of trouble in school. Never really, paid attention to detail or authority. Just always went against the grain. Eventually, I ended up a ward of the state by 10 or 11. And then pretty much lived in group homes from 11 to 14, 11 to 15. And that probably wasn't good for me. And then we went to court. I was on probation. We went to court. My grandma came and got me, took me back to live with her at 15. And by that point, you know, I was already involved in, you know, hanging out with the wrong crowd. Didn't know what a job looked like. You know, was lucky if I went to school a couple times a week. Hadn't started using substances yet, but was just kind of, you know, in and out of, you know, hanging out with the guys and doing things I shouldn't have really been doing. I didn't really get into drugs and alcohol until I was like 17, 18. Started with, you know, alcohol, then went into, you know, harder drugs. Dibbled and dabbled with that for a couple years until somewhere along the lines I lost some kind of control. I just couldn't, every time I'd pick up, I just couldn't stop. Hey, you're all right, we're not going nowhere. That went on for a couple years, maybe 4 or 5 years, until I started committing crime to you know, afford my habit. And then the prison stuff started. Relapsing, trying to get sober, relapsing, trying to get sober, relapsing, trying to get sober. I just didn't know who I was. Didn't really know how to be happy without some kind of substance. And it took a long time to figure out how to be happy in my own skin with just, you know, being myself.
I like talking about this stuff. Like talking about the redemption, like talking about what it looked like before, because myself, I believe that I had held these things in and bottled it up for so long. I didn't know how to talk about it. I didn't know what to say. You know, sometimes when I did talk about it, I would start crying, and I didn't want to cry, so I didn't like the way I feel, so I just didn't talk about it. But the more we talk about it, and the more we understand who we are, who we were, what we're trying to become, it's like bringing it from the darkness to the light. We're exposing it. And we learn a little something more about ourselves each time.
This last time in 2021, man, I'd got out and I'd started my life, and I'd gotten, you know, in a position where I started winning last time, and just pulled the structure out from underneath myself, self-sabotage myself all the way through, you know, burn a bunch of bridges. A bunch of my friends in recovery were tired of dealing with me. You know, my relationship was pretty much cooked. My kids didn't want to talk. Well, my daughter didn't want to talk to me. You know, my family relationships were just pretty much burnt up. And then when I landed in jail again, I was just tired. I almost couldn't wait to get arrested. That's how bad it was. I just couldn't see myself getting sober again. You know, I'd gotten like 4.5 years sober this last time, and when I relapsed, I just felt like I just threw everything away and just couldn't find or muster up the courage to get sober again. So when I'd gotten arrested, it was like I'd finally was able to, you know, I couldn't wait to get sober again, so to speak. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. That's what it takes. At least that's what it took for me at least. So, you know, I get locked up again. I'm going through the motions, you know, the detox part, the emotional part, and took a couple months. I mean, I was out running around for about a year and a half, so everything, was off, and wasn't sure how much time I was going to have to do this time. I knew it ranged from about 2.5 years to 7.5 years. Just hoping for the best. I ended up with 3 years. Did about 30 months on that. But the whole time that I was in this last time was just all about working on myself and what I could do to give back to the guys that were, in the same position that I just, came back from. So that's what I did. I spent my 30 months in there, staying healthy, working with the guys that were getting ready to be released. I was a re-entry preparation specialist when I was in prison this last time, and was just always trying to be a part of being helpful.
So in your own words, what do you think is the blueprint to redeeming yourself? How do you redeem yourself?
You have to be willing. Have to. I can want to do this and I can want to do that, but if I'm not willing to put the time and the effort into changing or making something happen, it's really nothing. And that goes for anything in life. You have to be willing to put in the time. Whether that's in my recovery, whether that's in my friendships, in my work, everything requires being willing to put the time in to make it happen.